Hi everyone. I hope you're having a good day. Hope this week has treated you well. This is your daily reading for Wednesday, April 17th, 2019. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you so much for your support of the channel. Please like and subscribe. Please don't walk on my cards. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to do a reading pretty much just like we did yesterday, where I'll look at your overall energy, your spiritual energy, your physical energy, and then any extra cards that we may need to kind of expound upon that message or help you to figure out how to overcome any problems you may be going through. Kitty, what are you doing? She just had like a treat hunt. So we like hide treats around the house and then she's hunting for them and it's the cutest thing ever. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for being here. If you'd like to get kind of in the zone, take a nice deep breath. Kind of ground yourself and I'll get started with your overall energy. What is the overall energy for whoever this reading is meant for, whoever is here to receive this message for this day, Wednesday, April 17th, 2019, from our higher selves, from those beings that guide us, from deity, from our ancestors, and from those who have passed through the veil, who wish only the best for us? Please tell us, what is the overall energy for whoever this reading is meant for this day, Wednesday, April 17th, 2019. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. So I think the message here is to not overanalyze or overthink whatever you're experiencing today. That could be emotional. It could be, something, just someone said something and it's just in your head all day. Really, really be aware of your thoughts today, as far as whether you're obsessing over something so much and you're not really listening to what your heart is trying to guide you to do or how you're being guided to respond, okay? Because your heart, and this is the metaphysical kind of heart, not your literal organ, although that's very important, but your metaphysical heart, meaning your intuition, meaning your spiritual needs and spiritual desires, meaning what drives you, what pushes you along, okay? That is what you really need to listen to today. Whatever it is that drives you, that creates passion within you, creates some sort of excitement within you, then try to listen to that more than your kind of logical statistical mind, where you're judging things or you're obsessing over things or you're trying to like really analyze things down to their core. Instead of just analyzing things, kind of go with your feelings today, go with your gut. Yeah, if you do that, I think you'll have some connection with the universe, with the oneness, the knowledge of all, the kind of understanding that every human possesses that connects us all together spiritually. I think you'll be able to connect more with that and let that guide you if you're able to listen to your heart, okay? Let's see what your spiritual message is today. What is the spiritual message or energy for whoever this reading is meant for this day, Wednesday, April 17th, 2019? What is the spiritual message or energy that they need to know about for whoever this reading is meant for, whoever is drawn here from their higher selves to mine? What message do they need on the spiritual level for this day, Wednesday, April 17th, 2019? Please and thank you. So you have the world, and also as I was, is that the world? I think that's the world. Also, as I was flipping, I got the 10 of coins. It just kind of popped out, flipped over on its own. So I thought, yeah, it feels right. Spiritually, I think you're kind of in this place where, is that the world? That is not the world. I feel like that's something else. These cards, man, I'm still learning, and because I took a whole week off, it's like my brain just went blank. But I'm going to look at this cute little book here and tell you what it says for both of them since I have it open. Judgment. Yeah, I thought that wasn't the world. The world is this cute, like, snow globe thing. So you have judgment. The path you have chosen has led to your present place. The key to liberation is to accept and understand this. The key concepts of judgment are spiritual enlightenment, awakening, and peace. Okay, so that's your spiritual message. And we also got 10 of coins or 10 of discs. And that tells you that there is no limit to what you can achieve now. Material prosperity may come to you in unexpected ways, especially through the help of others. The key concepts are breaking through limitations, victory, and financial growth. Okay, so together these are super positive. It's basically saying you're on the right path spiritually, you're doing all the things that you need to do, or you're starting to do those things, you're starting to understand those things, and you're starting to find your way out of whatever kind of predicament, whatever life you've been in that hasn't been working for you. And I don't know if that's the case for you because, some people do have a really good life. Some people never really have to struggle that much. And maybe you're one of those people. I'm feeling that that's not the case. I'm feeling that you don't necessarily, that this is new to you, this kind of abundance, this kind of joy, this kind of like spiritual fulfillment. It's something you're starting to do. It's a new journey for you. And I don't know why I'm getting that because 10 is actually a number of endings. It's telling me that you're coming to the end of a cycle. And I do think that you are. I think the cycle was a cycle of negativity. I think it was a cycle of pessimism, of, lack, of just feeling like the opposite of abundance. There's literally a word for that I know that is just not in my head right now. But the opposite of abundance is kind of where you've been. You've been in that 5 of coins energy, and now you're reaching towards this 10 of coins, this abundance, this joy, this lightness, this fun kind of energy. Like she's on a carousel. How is that not fun? Really enjoyable. And I don't think you're going to be stuck for very long. If you are still kind of in this place where you're feeling pessimism or negativity or anything like that, where you're feeling like you're lacking funds or lacking resources, I don't think you're going to be there very long because I do think that cycle is coming to an end. I think that cycle is starting to you're starting to realize that there are more options, especially with judgment. You're starting to realize that there have to be more options because you're no longer satisfied with what you've had. You're no longer happy in that, or even if you never were happy, you're no longer content. You're no longer accepting it. Okay. So now you're ready to just kind of say, all right, I have to do something else. There has to be another path. There has to be a way to find my joy, find my abundance, to find peace. And that's kind of where you're heading. That's where your spiritual energy is leading you, okay? So that's very beautiful. Let's see what your physical energy is for this day. For whoever this reading is meant for, oh my goodness, stay in my arms, in my hands. I dropped a few. What is your physical energy for this day? Wednesday, April 17th, 2019, for whoever this reading is meant for, from their higher self to mine, and mine to theirs, and mine to these cards. Please tell us what is the physical energy for whoever is here to receive this message for this day, Wednesday, April 17th, 2019. Please and thank you. And you got the Wheel of Fortune. So physically, I think this in combination with your spiritual energy is just telling me that something good is about to happen for you, something beautiful, especially if you're able to trust your heart, trust your intuition, trust those messages that are, part of the one, part of the all, the singular spirit that we all tap into. Trust that so that you can find fortune so that you can find positivity. The Wheel of Fortune also is a reminder that not everything is that things go in cycles, that it's sometimes good, it's sometimes bad, but even if you're down, you're bound to become up again. Even if you're way up here, eventually you're going to have to come down again. And that's just part of life. That's just the natural cycles of things. The Wheel of Fortune is a great reminder that things naturally flow and ebb, and not to let yourself get too stuck on one aspect of it. But it also tells me that there's a lot, especially with the cards that we have, there's a lot of fortune, there's a lot of abundance and positivity headed your way in your material life. That could be financial, it could be romantic, it could be, a new job, it could be a new home, it could be some other new opportunity. There's an opportunity opening up for you here, okay? So be aware of that. We're going to pull a few more cards just to see if there's any other messages or any clarifiers we need. Is there anything else we need to understand for this day? Is there anything else we need to know for whoever this reading is meant for this day, Wednesday, April 17th, 2019? Are there any other messages that we need to know, that we need to understand for whoever this reading is meant for, from those beings that guide us in love and care, those beings that take care of us? Any last messages for this day, Wednesday, April 17th, 2019, for whoever is here to receive them? Please and thank you. Thank you so much. You got the Four of Pentacles, Strength, Two of Swords. I actually want to pull one more. And the Emperor. Interesting. Okay. So we got the Four of Pentacles, right? So the Four of Pentacles message is often to be careful of being a little bit too selfish. Be careful of, holding your resources so close to you that no one else can benefit from them. Because if no one else is really benefiting from what good is happening in your life, then you're probably not benefiting as much as you could be. I mean, you may be getting something out of it, but at the end of the day, if it's just you, if you're being selfish with your resources, then you're actually limiting yourself there, okay? So really be careful of being selfish, of being self-centered, of not thinking about other people, of not considering how your actions affect other people. And I think, especially with the cards we got with the Wheel of Fortune, I think it's really, really important that you keep yourself aware of how you're treating other people and what you're keeping to yourself and what you're not sharing. Because then we also got Strength, okay? So this is a reminder to rely on your own personal power, and to know that whatever situation you're going through, you're going to get through it. You're going to be fine. You have the power that you need to get through it. It's also, I think, a reminder that you're not, how do I say this? You're not a slave to your weaknesses. Does that make sense? I think it does. You're not, like, the things that you perceive as weaknesses, the things that you see as holding you back, I think that's kind of where you're overanalyzing. I think you're really focused on those negatives, but you're not a slave to them. You're not in control of them. You're not chained to them, so to speak. And I am seeing that just because there's this, like, chained collar around the lion's neck. You're not your weaknesses. You're not your flaws, okay? They may be a part of you, and you can accept those. You can live with those, but they're not your flaws. And I think it's up to you, really, how you want to pursue your future, how you want to pursue your life. And I think that has to do with how you treat yourself, how you think of yourself, and how you think of those flaws, how you think of those opposite of strength, whatever it is, those weaknesses, those things that are not, the ideal version of yourself that you want to be. I think you have to figure out, what's true and what's just the story you're telling yourself. You have to figure out, what's an actual flaw that can either be fixed or must be accepted, or what is something you're seeing as a flaw, you're seeing as a problem, but is truly just in your head, or is something someone else told you about yourself that you're started to believe, even if it's not true. And then we have the Emperor, and he's telling you, you need to kind of meld your spiritual and your physical lives. So, whatever you're trying to pursue spiritually and emotionally and mentally, that has to be in alignment with what you're actually doing in your day-to-day life. If it's not in alignment, you're going to find that you're out of balance. And I think the Emperor is telling you, you need to find that balance for whatever is coming for you, whatever this abundance is, whatever this beautiful, like, energy that we're getting here from our spiritual cards and our physical cards. You need to be prepared for that. But in order to do that, you can't be selfish. You can't be like just stuck on you. You can't be so self-centered. That said, you need to let go of how you're thinking about your weaknesses. You really need to change the way you're looking at yourself and the way you're looking at what you perceive as weaknesses and as strengths. Okay? You really need to look at how you're speaking to yourself mentally. Like, you may not be out loud saying these things, but if in your head, if you make a mistake and you're thinking, oh, I'm such a crap person, then, even as a joke, the universe doesn't understand jokes. It's not hearing that it's a joke. It's just taking what you say at face value. Like I do when I talk to people, I quite often miss sarcasm and I miss, like, subtext, because I am very much a face value person. I always have been, and I've worked very hard to learn to understand, to see the differences, but it was something that didn't come naturally to me. And that's basically kind of how the universe works. She's not going to hear that there's sarcasm in your voice, that you don't really mean what you're saying, or that you're trying to be disparaging for whatever other reasons, to make yourself feel better, to make other people around you feel better, whatever. She's just going to hear that you think you're bad. She's going to hear that you think you're a crap person, and then going to show you what it's like to live as a crap person. So really, really work on your self-image. That's Work on your self-image. I think that's very important. Prepare yourself, okay? It's time to really make sure that your thoughts and your words and your beliefs are in alignment with your actual behavior, with your actions, with the things you're doing, because whatever is coming for you, it's something you need to be prepared for. Okay, that is your reading for Wednesday, April 16th, 2019. Thank you so much. If you like this video, please click the button below, click the bell so that you can get so that you can get notifications whenever there is an update. And if you are trying to figure out, how to look at your weaknesses and how to look at your strengths, there are lots of wonderful activities, but my favorite is from Patricia Telesco's A Charmed Life. It's in the first chapter. I think it's on page 15 of I think the current edition. It's still the same page. It's page 15 in A Charmed Life by Patricia Telesco. There's an activity where you self-evaluate. You look at your flaws, you look at your weaknesses as honestly as you possibly can in this kind of safe environment, and then you come back to it later and look at it as if you're someone else. And if you see that you're saying things about yourself that you would never say about friends, that you would never say about someone else that you care about, then address why you're doing that, and try to be as unbiased as possible there, and look at it as if you're looking at the assessment of some total stranger on paper, and feel what kind of advice you would tell your friend. Okay, look at the things that you can change, look at the things that you can't change, and find a way to accept them. And the things that you can change, figure out what steps you need to do that. Whatever it is, I think the way you're viewing yourself isn't accurate, and I think you're very much kind of in that overanalyzing stage where you are how do I say, you are just really, really kind of obsessing about your flaws. You're obsessing about things that aren't going the way you want them to. You're obsessing about things, and it's like the universe is like, hey, I have something prepared for you, but are you ready? I have something prepared for you, and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be big. It's going to be lovely and abundant and light. And if you can't see that you deserve it, I can't give it to you, right? So you have to see that you deserve it. You have to reassess and really let yourself be open to sharing what you're learning and sharing what you're understanding and sharing your resources, because I don't think selfishness is the answer for you right now. I think it is time for you to really, get organized, get prepared for whatever is coming for you. Okay? Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember always that I love you. Bye.